They say it's a shooter's league, but Giannis Antetokounmpo would probably disagree. In the current era of pace and space, teams have gravitated towards bigs who can step out and shoot the three ball consistently, and Giannis, well, not so much. But what Giannis lacks in shooting, he makes up for with elite length, strength, and agility. Giannis has displayed interior dominance that we haven't seen since the great Shaquille O'Neal. He's like a gazelle / unicorn / machine. And today we'll be looking at the small details that make Giannis the dominant slasher that he is. So let's take a look at Giannis in transition here. So off the catch, he notices that the paint is wide open, but in order to get there, he has two options, either drive left or drive right. But as we can see here, he chose to drive right, which is perplexing because the left had far more spacing. But if we go back and take a closer look, we'll see that Rudy Gobert's hips were already turned left, and it would be easy for him to just sprint to the spot and cut Giannis off. So instead, Giannis attacked his top foot, which forced Rudy to turn his hips. And if we can look here, we can see that Rudy's hips are faced the complete opposite way than they initially were. It throws him off balance severely, and Giannis is able to power through him for the easy slam. So we can see the same thing going on right here. Notice off the catch, the paint is open, his defender's hips are turned. He's gonna attack that top foot again, and since he has to open those hips, it's gonna make it incredibly hard to stay in front of Giannis, and it's an easy slam. Now this next play right here is very controversial because it looks like a typical case of bully ball, but let's take a closer look into what actually happened. So as you can see, Giannis starts his attack right about here, but look, he drives his thigh into Rudy's knee, and that will make any defender back up simply to reduce the shock from that collision. Is this an offensive foul? Maybe, but did they call it? No. And as they say, on to the next play. Now, although Giannis is not a shooter, you have to stop him early in transition. This is what happens when you give him a literal runway to build up speed driving to the rim. Note how this beautiful in and out dribble forces Taj Gibson to turn his hips. And from historical context, you guys know what happens when Giannis gets guys in this position. You guessed it, rim rocker. Giannis is a beast off the ball as well. Note here how he catches Larry Nance Jr. ball watching and immediately makes him pay. Now notice here how Giannis throws his kick ahead pass to get the defense's eyes on Eric Bledsoe and off of him, but in transition, you simply cannot afford to take your eyes off of him. And here is another great example of how Giannis punishes ball-watching defenders. Here the defense's eyes are on Pat Connaughton the whole time, and Giannis abruptly takes advantage. One part about Giannis's game that doesn't get talked about nearly enough is his ball handling. Check out how he reads the defense here in this pick and roll situation. So he sees that Aaron Gordon is trying to cheat this screen and that the screener's man is trying to hedge hard. So he's going to reject this screen wisely. And once he gets into the lane, this defender here has to make a decision between committing to him and Tony Snell, and this brief moment of hesitation is all that Giannis needs to capitalize. Now here the defense is going to switch on this screen action, and he's got Hayward on him, so he's going to plant this inside foot right here, spin off hard, and it just comes down to him being taller, stronger, and more athletic than his matchup. Although Giannis is considered a unicorn in today's NBA, he can still be used in traditional big man roles like right here, where both defenders' eyes are focused on the ball handler and they give Giannis a free roll to the basket. Eric Bledsoe just throws it up and Giannis finishes the rest. And it should also be noted that Giannis is a competent isolation and post scorer. While he did only post up on 12% of all possessions this year, he had pretty good success on doing so. But as you can see during the regular season, teams allow him to work one-on-one, whereas during the playoffs, they build a literal wall around him that prevents him from getting to the paint at will and converting on the same volume and efficiency that he does during the regular season. And at this point in Giannis's career, his main enemy is predictability. Teams universally know that he's going to either try to drive or kick the ball out for a three, but when threes aren't falling, this is potentially problematic. Take Kevin Garnett for an example. Teams always tried their best to keep this guy out of the paint, but they failed miserably because he had an array of high and low post skills that he was able to punish defenses with. If Giannis can continue to work on his three-point shot and learn some of these in-between moves, he won't have to drive all the way to the basket every time just to score. Notice how every time defenders send help, Kevin is able to easily fade the opposite way and score on a dependable shot that he's worked on over the years. And Giannis is only 24 years old, and that's just scary. A couple more off seasons of work, and I guarantee that we'll be talking about one of the greatest forwards in NBA history. And we'd like to give a big thanks to everybody for tuning in to this episode of Breaking It Down. Make sure to drop a like and comment. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow us on social media at On The Break 1. Also, make sure to stay tuned and have a great day.